viewers, this is IQ Domino coming back at y'all with another motherfucking banger of a Patreon video. So we're going over winner's mentality. This is the first iteration, which is focus, bro. Focus. We got to focus, brothers. We got to focus. So the first thing that I want y'all to understand the purpose of focus and why this shit is so important. Yeah, we all know we gotta be focused to get shit done. We all know this, but the biggest thing is staying focused through distractions. Not easily being distracted, not easily pivoting, and it actually, believe it or not, it will help you learn things faster. It help you get things done a lot faster. Go through this process of becoming an attractive man a lot faster. Remember, we all have watched The Karate Kid. If you have not watched The Karate Kid, I advise you to watch The Karate Kid. You know what I'm saying? Go watch The Karate Kid, bro. Either or, but I prefer you go watch the first one, even though the second one is better when it comes down to the fighting scenes and stuff like that. But the first one has a lot more character to it. So and for y'all that didn't watch it, I'm gonna go ahead and break down the story. Y'all used to, he had a kid. He got his ass. He had a little girl he wanted. The girl, they was vibing cool, but he was a little bit of a bitch, right? So they got a guy that came over there, punked him, whooped his ass, and basically treated him like shit. He was continuously bullying him, and he said, tired of this shit. And, he tried to go up to the gym with a guy that tried to learn how to fight. So he went to the gym. The guy was at that gym. He was like, nah, I don't want to learn from y'all. I don't want to have to deal with y'all. I don't want to have to fight y'all. Fuck that. So he left. And the guys ended up seeing him again, bullying him again. And he ended up being, was kicking his ass, and they was about to go a little bit too far, damn near kill a guy. And the sensei came in and saved him. Sensei taught him, hey, listen, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you learn how to fight. I'm gonna teach you how to fight. You're gonna have these hands. So start teaching him how to fight. And with that happening, he first experienced, him saying, before I get into that, before we do that, I'm just gonna help you solve the problem. He said, I'm gonna help you solve the problem. Cause I kind of fucked up the story a little bit. But he said, I'm gonna help you solve the problem. And we're gonna go up to the gym, we're gonna talk to the sensei, and we're gonna say that that's not gonna happen no more. So they went up to the gym, talked to the sensei, and then the mentor ran into the guy who saved him, which was, Mr. Miyagi. Saved Daniel's son, Daniel. And they went up to the training gym, and they tried to go, talk to the coach, the guy that taught the other guy that was the bully's coach, right? And the bully coach was like, listen, since you beat up my students, number one, you're gonna have to fight me, and and my student gonna fight him. And he was like, that's not the way. I came here to solve a problem. Fighting doesn't solve that. And he was like, you came in my gym, so something is about to happen. And he said, well, we will fight at the tournament. You know what I'm saying? We're going to fight at the tournament. Him knowing that Daniel's son was a little bitch, and, he ain't want to fight. So he was like, we're going to fight at the tournament. And that's what's going to go down. But in the meantime, don't fight my student, right? So it's a lot of pressure going on. It's a time scale. I think they had like 2 months or something like that. It's, a short period of time. They didn't have much time to train. So it's a lot of pressure. As you can see, it's like, they had to really be engaged because they only got like a short amount of time to really get this fight going. This guy's a bitch. He doesn't know how to fight at all. And we got to get him to fight these motherfuckers, and these motherfuckers are all black belts, and they all elite at what they do. So it's a a crazy story, but that's what he had to overcome. Right, that's a lot of mental obstacles. That's a lot of stuff that you got to learn, overcome, develop. Right, so what he said was, listen, come over to my house and we're gonna start training. He said, all right, we're gonna start training. Daniel's son like, all right, we're gonna start training. Right. For the first day, he spent the entire day from 9 o'clock in the morning, I think like 7 o'clock in the morning, it was early as fuck, to night time. I think it was like 10 o'clock when he was done painting all of it. He spent that whole time painting fences. You know what I'm saying? The next day, he spent the whole day from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock buffering cars. The next day after that, he spent, this day he told him, wax on, wax off. Don't forget to breathe. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. He telling him, listen, wax, like he told him buffering and he told him to get the splinters out of the wood. He say, wax buffer, wax on, spin it off. Wax wipe on, wipe off. Go in, go out. You know what I'm saying? He telling them, do the same thing over and over again. So he said, okay, cool. Next day, this is came out. It's 3 days. He said, man, paint my house, painted the house. So every day for that entire week, he was just doing practices, right? Just doing practices, and they say, how come, we ain't learn? I didn't learn how to fight yet. I didn't learn how to fight. But what he didn't realize was he wasn't able to fight because he lacked something. And this is what the movie doesn't show. I think the second Karate Kid shows it more than the first Karate Kid, because the first Karate Kid, it wasn't highlighted at all. But the second one, it was highlighted, which was he lacked focus. See, whenever he got into the fight, he wasn't thinking about his opponent. He was thinking about what could happen to him. He was always thinking about the future. He was always thinking about what the past that, how he got his ass kicked already. He was thinking about the past. He was living in fear because he wasn't focused in the moment. You see what I'm saying? He was allowing his past to dictate what he did in the future. That's the reason why he was so scared of them, instead of realizing that they had holes in their game just the same way he got holes in his game. But his fear dictated what he did, which was shell up, just throw a wild punch, not trying to connect at anything, just trying not to get hit. So he's moving in a way where he isn't even realizing the opportunity that's there because he's not focused. You feel what I'm saying? Now, that was the biggest thing that Mr. Miyagi was highlighting with him. He was focusing. Now, on the second one, he literally said, yo, focus, need focus. You need to focus. He literally told him that. But in the first one, it wasn't highlighted at all, which is you have to get used to focusing. If you don't practice to focus, when fear comes about, when excitement comes about, when things on the outside world show you that you should be looking at this and not what's going on in the inside of you, you will always be distracted by it, which is going to dictate what you focus on in the internal. You're allowing the outside world to dictate what's going on the inside world. And when that begins to happen, you will always lose focus. And this is what this practice is all about with you guys. We are going to help you. I'm going to help you with this practice. Build your focus. We're going to do this shit over the computer. We working miracles today. We working miracles today. Miracles. Right? Listen, the first thing I want y'all to do when y'all walking outside, just because I want y'all to get over your fears, is that you have to focus on your object. What this object is, it can be anything. It can be a castle. It can be a light bulb. It can be an eyeball. It can be a pencil. It can be a bottle of water. It can be a spray bottle. It can be a notebook. It can be speakers. It can be a camera. Whatever it is, focus on it in your mind. This is all I want you to look at. This is all I want you to see in your mind. Focus, man. Don't think about nothing else. You have to do this all day. As much as you can. All day. I don't care what you're experiencing. You always highlight this thing in your mind, no matter what you're doing. You'll realize a lot of things you subconsciously are already doing. You don't even need to be at the wheel all the time. That's number one. And number two, there are times where you aren't at the wheel. There are a lot of times when you're letting different thoughts dictate you. You're letting your thoughts, you're letting your beliefs, you're letting your feelings dictate what you do, and you don't realize it. But you aren't your thoughts. I know how this sounds. You can change your thoughts. If you can change your thoughts, you aren't your thought. You aren't your thought. And we're gonna break that down a little bit later down the line. But right now, I want y'all to understand the importance of focus. Focus is everything. You have to really hone in on your focus. So lock in. No matter what emotion you feel, on a good day, if you're going to experience an excitement, focus. You're experiencing sadness, focus. If you're going through the heights of frustration, focus. Focus on it all. Continuously focus. The moment you stop focusing, the moment you will lose concentration. The moment you lose concentration, you lose control. Just like Danielson. Whenever he got into a fight, he always thought about everything except for that jab that can land right in front of him. He always overlooked that punch that was that fucking rib and that opening that wasn't protected. He overlooked that. Why? Because he was focused on not getting hit. He was focused on this guy hurting him. He was focused on the outside world more than himself, more than what he could do to the outside world. And this is right here. It's where I want y'all to understand. No matter what emotion you feel, you need to get used to locking in your mind. This is all about developing the skill of focus. You could do this forever. Hell, I still do it. You feel what I'm saying? So this is what you're doing, bro. You are honing in to an object. You're not letting the outside world dictate where your mind goes. You are in full control of your mind. This was the most important thing that Daniel-san had to learn. This is the most important thing that Daniel-san had to develop. Focus. So the next thing is discipline practices. Do what you say you're going to do. Standing on your word takes focus. When you say you're going to do something, bro, you have to do it. Because the more you are aligned to your word, the more power you will have. Oh my goodness, this is literally the link of what you got, of what guys call aura. The most disciplined people have the highest amount of aura. The people who overcome their fears the most have the height of aura. When I'm telling you, aura is very real. When people walk into your presence,